What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed. This is the last video I'm going to do for tonight. Won't start editing until tomorrow. So what do we have in front of you? We have two toys that look so far very similar in the colors of Dirge, as a matter of fact, but no, more or less in the colors of Sentinel Prime, which is kind of a throwback to animated. Hey, you know, if you know, you know. So what do we have in front of you here? We have Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime, but not just one, we got two. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the packaging. We're going to focus on these two. It's not going to be a whole lot of comparisons here. So let's, not throwing in a million toys today. There are some notable things about the packaging that, why do I keep hitting my camera today? That I don't think we paid attention to. So first things first, we have on the left here, this is the Studio Series version. On the right, we have the Prime Changers version. Now, interestingly, if you look at the packaging on both, the Prime Changer looks very different. Alt mold on the packaging looks very different than the alt mold on the Studio Series, because basically on the packaging, it's a modified version of the Starscream alt mode for the Prime Changer. And for the Studio Series, it just features a completely different figure altogether, alt mode altogether. But at least with the alt mode of the Studio Series, it does look more like the packaging, whereas the Prime Changes packaging and alt mode to this figure looks not too good. Anyway, all right, we're back by YouTube magic, and I went ahead and just put it the way that it should be. I just thought the gun sitting here and the shoulders sitting here just looked a little. It's just a little weird. But no, I really do think this is a great figure. I think that for what it's worth, you definitely get your money's worth. Both of them, as a matter of fact. It's amazing how these Prime Changers came out. I know a lot of people, like I said, they had their misgivings about the movie. I've never said this was a bad movie. It was enough for me to say I kind of don't care. But I do like Sentinel Prime. I mean, he's voiced by John Hamm, for God's sakes. It's a cool guy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's definitely a go. So let's start looking at these toys first. We're going to start with the smaller vehicle. They're going to move the boxes out the way because we got a lot to do today. And we got to do this last one, and I got to clean up, and I'm going to bed, man. Tired of being tired, so let's go. So the smaller one is the Prime Changer, and the way he transforms is very simple. Kind of reminds me like Energon, the legs, like the old school Energon. The legs fold up and arms fold down, that type of deal. Very simple to transform. Nice looking figure. Here are some of the details here. He has the little guns that kind of poke out. His feet are right here, and then they kind of latch on to the sides. So you have this kind of like open, like exhaust. And I still feel like I'm not quite getting this to clap in all the way, but I'm pretty much sure there's not much more I can do. Now the guns kind of angle out, and you'll see it right there. So basically when you put them on, they're gonna basically kind of flail out just a little bit. The rudders don't move, the wings do fold, so you kind of fold them up if you want, get like a folding, look. But other than that, pretty much everything is the way it is. And like I said, I do like the way he folds up. I like it. The shield you can put this way, and that's how they want you to put it. It kind of looks better. They're trying to make it look like the artwork from the packaging, which is basically Starscream. So for the Prime Changer, so no, that's what it now. But still, nice looking jet mode for a figure that's basically deluxe size. Now this right here is like beefier, better version. Now the difference, of course, is the coloration is a little. I'd say this one's a little bit of a lighter blue, and the tan is a little bit of a kind of orangey and brown, where this one is more of a yellowish tan. And the wings here kind of collapse in. So you can kind of do this look if you want. I mean, I kind of had them in the packaging like that. You can actually, do a lot different, things with the wings if you wanted to sit this way just for fun. Like I say, it's your toy. You do it as you want. You can kind of do that. I mean, you got different options there. So, don't get upset if somebody says, you're not supposed to do that. Tell them you're not supposed to talk to me. All right. So we're going to close that up. So as you can see that there, I mean, that's pretty nice. That's pretty neat. So now he's got the thrusters in the back, and they kind of remind me of Jetfire's thrusters, man. That's pretty cool. Now, the only downside that I don't like about this figure, he's kind of this, he's sort of a seeker in a sense, but it's not bad. I just wish the arms, kind of collapsed in a little more, but all in all, he reminds me more of a seeker, definitely, than him. And for both the shield does come up. Now, for him, his configurations to have the shield this way, because when you try to put the shield on the opposite way, you're going to have to just fold these down, and then you might can be able to put that right there, and you can kind of do that if you want. I don't know, it just looks kind of weird. So I guess with this figure, the way that it was designed, it sits forward. And you can set the guns on top if you want. We'll show that off later. But right now we got the gun sitting here. This makes more sense. And yeah, I think out of the two, this one is the better one. But it's because it's bigger, the materials are better, it's more sizable. Now let's do some size comparisons and measurements and length and everything. And then after that, we're gonna go straight to robot modes here. All right. And of course, we'll start with the smaller guy. He is approximately in length, getting about 5 inches. 5 inches, yeah, 5 inches. Now let's look at the Studio Series version. Now, Studio Series version is approximately, let's see, it's right there. I'd say close to 8.5 inches. Not quite 8.5, but he's close. He's very close. So keep that in mind. That's that. So what are we gonna do now? We're basically gonna get them into robot mode, and hey, we're gonna close this puppy up, and I'm going to bed. And I've got another set of reviews, and I'm going to do it the same way probably tomorrow or Saturday, because Friday I got something to do. All righty, so we're going to always be back. And then again, the lovely 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have both Sentinel Primes in their robot modes here. Let's get down a little bit into the frame. So what do we have here? First things first, we have this guy who's basically a deluxe, and this guy who's basically a Voyager. This guy has more parts. This guy has less parts. This guy's bigger. This guy's smaller. This guy still isn't perfect, and neither is this guy. I like both of them. This one is actually at one point was hard to find. Now he's creeping back up again, and I'm kind of glad because with the prime changers, even though they're smaller, even though they don't have as much materials, there's a lot of thought in these. Starting with him, and I'm pointing, put my phone down here. All right, so starting with him, let's just put that here for a second. We're going to bring him center frame. In robot mode, he is approximately 5 inches, or very right at 5 inches, maybe 4 3/4. He's close. He's very much close to 5 inches. Yeah. Not quite, a little bit, but yeah, he's about right there. Now let's look at the Studio Series version. And I'm not going to lie, I really do like the Studio Series version. I wish I got to incorporate him with my mainline toys. I do. I like this look. I mean, I know he's got the colors, he could either be a Dirge or, he's basically the same colors as Sentinel Prime from Animated. He is approximately 6 inches tall with the wingspan hitting about 6.5. Not bad. Not bad at all. We'll go over articulation for both. Size comparisons, and we're getting out of here. First things first, we're going to go over the articulation with the weapons in his hand. We'll start, of course, with the Prime 1. I keep saying Prime 1. Leg goes out to here. And of course, the leg can bend there. He does have feet swivel. Leg goes back to here. But the wings do kind of get in the way, so you can kind of like angle the wing this way and the feet go all the way back. He does have a waist swivel. He does not have a fist swivel or hand swivel, but he does have an elbow joint. Arm does do 360, but it will get a little hindered by the wings that are on the back, but you can always move them out the way. Head does move 360, kind of looks up and down a little bit, but he does have full rotating range. And let's take a good look at the noggin. And then we're going to go over the accessories. So the noggin on this guy, like I said, it's pretty good. Pretty damn good. All right. Now, he comes with these little guns. Start with these. And yes, they're on 5mm pulse. Let's take a look at them here. And they're interesting weapons. And we're going to go over those weapons because, like I said, this is kind of a long video. Well, it's going to be a long video. But these are the guns. And basically, they clamp onto the wings as, these, you're like, pew, pew, but then you can turn them into guns that you can put sand. So, and the thing is, they're not hollow. They feel hollow, but they're really not hollow. And I think that's also pretty cool as well. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have both Sentinel Primes and their robot modes. And we're going to start with the smaller one first. Now, let's move him out the way for a second. This is the Prime Changer Sentinel Prime. He's basically in this robot mode. The two guns that were on the wings now become guns for his hands. We'll go over the accessories. And after that, we're going to go straight to articulation. This is the little guns here, and you could put them in his hand. Again, there's no hollow bits or anything like that. What's going on with this? So, got yourself a nice little gun there. All right. And we're going to put that back. And the next, we're going to show off the pivoting guns. And they only fit on his shoulder because that's where the 5mm pulse are. So, see that there? All right. Next is the little tiny shield. You see here. Can't put anything on it. So you know that now. Let's take those off for a second. So that way we don't hinder articulation while we show that off. First things first, let's put the wings back so we can show off the full articulation. Arm does a 360. Arm has an elbow joint. Arm has a swivel. The fist doesn't move or rotate, because it doesn't. It's kind of stationary. The legs go out to here. Leg goes back to here. Leg can go back. You can kind of angle it around the back here to get the leg to go all the way to the back. And here he is from the back. Like I said, the legs are probably on him, probably the worst of the bunch, so to speak. But they try their best to cover it up in the back. But I still think it's a good effort. And of course, the back. And even, because you know how it goes. You know how it goes. Waist swivel. And feet swivel, of course. Let's look at the head. Okay, she need the head. And that's how his face looks. All right. And so basically, he's can he do the Jean-Claude Van Damme? The answer to the question is emphatically no. And he get about right there. See, he could probably, hey, don't move type deal. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get him 6-3s back on, so that way we don't lose any of the parts here. And it's very simple. You just put everything back on. So 5mm post. You can probably use weapons from him, but we're not going to. So we want them separate. So now we're done looking at the deluxe Prime Changer Sentinel Prime. Now let's look at the much bigger robot, which is going to be the Studio Series version. My Studio Series version does a lot more. It's also a lot of hidden stuff here. We're going to go over that. Now, so far, I'm going to say I don't like the way the heels are, because when they fold in, he doesn't have stability. But you can kind of, if you want to do it this way, which I would probably suggest you do, this will give him a little more stability and things of that nature. Now, I think they do have it like this. I could be wrong, but like I said, it's your toy. You use it like you need it, but I prefer to have it like that. And so now we're going to do the measurement, of course. I believe he's about 6 inches. Yep, he's right at 6 inches, right on the money. All right, so we're going to move that out the way. Just get him back center frame. Now, he only comes with these accessories because a lot of what he has is built in internally. There's a lot more tricks that he does, and so we're going to be going over those. So basically, the shield is a lot larger, and you can put the guns on the shield. All right, but he's got a lot of hidden weapons, and he also has a mask mode, and we're going to show that off after we show off articulation. Now we're going to fold the wings back once again, so that way we can see all the full range of articulation. Starting with the arms to do a 360. I just don't like the way the chest and the ball joints, the way they are for the arms. It always feels like he's, like he's going to come apart, and he does. He does not have a fist rotation because his fists do that, and that's going to be part of a special mode when we go through the review. But it's pretty cool to see sliding mechanisms again instead of opening, closing. We need more like that. I always like that. The feet swivel. Yes. The legs go out to here. Well, the leg goes out to there. We're just showing off one leg, and the leg bends here. Then the leg will kick back, and you can kind of kick it back to about right there. Now, does he have a waist swivel? Of course he has a waist swivel. The Constructicons don't have a waist swivel. Just don't understand that. But here he goes. Waist swivel. There's a waist swivel. Yeah, boy. And let's see what else he got. And he got a little butterfly in the shoulders and things like that. Can he Jean-Claude Van Damme? Let's see. Oh, homie can Jean-Claude Van Damme. And even though he has these in the way, let's lift him up. Oh man, 4 prime changer. He not winning. He not winning that. But yeah, that's it right there. I mean, like, this thing right here is the truth. I have to admit, the character from the movie and the fact they gave him a good mode. Now, this isn't actually based on the movie. It's more, they said, concept arts for this. Fair enough. But yeah, he's still, he got a lot more going on. So we're going to pause for the cause for a second. We're going to show off his, mass destruction mode. And then we're going to wrap the video up. Somebody says, he's going to have a mass destruction mode. I'm just making up stuff, so shut up. We'll be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube magic, and we now have Sentinel Prime in his super mode. Now, to get there are these little weapons that are on your shoulder. You basically swing those around, lift up the shoulder flaps, and you got that. Now, you slide the arm forward to get the cannon arm. You can do it on both arms. The feet kind of do like this, sort of like hooves. But for some reason, he don't really, well, no, actually he is standing up. On the side here, there are these little flaps that open up, and he's got these guns. Of course, the shield can only go on his arms, so there's really no other place to put it, and you can put the guns there. And basically, you got this honking freaking super mode, and I dig it. I love the look. I think this is a very, but I can't get him to quite stand up, because it's like, I think you gotta angle those legs a certain way or something like that. Let's see if we can get him to stay. No, he's not gonna stay, because you gotta get one of those feet to, let me get a good pose on him, and then I can. Yeah, he's not gonna stay. Damn it! Come on. It's late. All right, I think I got him now. Yeah, I got him. Look at him. Now let's see how tall he is when you do this alternate mode thing here. Oh man, he gets a little more height. Gets him to about 6.5 inches. I think that's pretty cool. This is the toy right here. And we'll compare him to another studio series. The only one that I have, and that I believe is the Optimus Prime, which is the deluxe studio series when they're still doing the number 112. I still like him. He's not perfect, but I still like him. I know they're supposed to be doing like an Orion Pax or something, but he's not bad. Compared the two to each other, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Let's see. It's height. I've already did a review on him. I still like him though. I know some people don't like them, but I do. But yeah, they look good together. Like, oh snap, we gotta fight Sentinel Prime with all his craziness. This evil guy. It's no good. Eating this stuff. I'm gonna chop him to pieces. I still need to get Megatron. I'm probably never gonna get Megatron. The price on him is too high. Maybe they'll do another run of him and I'll go pick him up. But here they are side by side to each other. And the Optimus Prime is about the size of, well, actually, he's bigger than the Prime Changer. Let's get him over here. Yeah, he's bigger than the Prime Changer. That's something. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Let's see. Let's get everything in frame. Man, I tell you, boy, I don't like that alt mode. 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic. I just fold the feet down. On this surface, it's probably not going to stand, but I'm sure on a different surface it would. Yeah. So, I mean, here's the only other one I had. I wish I had the Alphatron, but I don't know where he is. But just to give you a, little comparison here, that's the Optimus Prime. That's it. Let's wrap it up. So, if I had my choice of which one, if I only had to pick one, of course, it's going to be the Studio Series. But you know me, you can't have just one. They always tell you that, but actually you can. Really, you only do but so much with certain things and certain, you can't win them all, as they say. Sometimes you got a lot of this, sometimes you got none. You just got to deal with it. Now, if I had one, of course, it's going to be this one. Now, both of them have the merit, because of the vast different ways that it change. But what I like about it, though, is it gives him enough of a character. You could put him, you could put each of these in mainline or something. I mean, there's a lot of playability with these, but I have to admit, though, the Sentinel Prime is a lot of fun. It's not so much that it's like this great. No, it is good. It's good now. I would say it's great. It's good. But what's cool about it is the playability of, you could put the face, the mask is in the chest. And it's kind of hard to get that mask out. You may have to use a little something to get it to lift up. But when you do, it's worth it. You got this extra weapons. You got these leg cannons and the knees. I mean, these, but the legs. The shoulders, you make him hover. It's got the shield with guns on it. Fantastic. And this right here on its own is a great looking figure. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what people, complain. Like, we get like a different people complaining about certain things, but nah, this right here, this is more this is doing it for me. This is doing it. I like both of these figures equally, and that's saying something. That's saying something. So I'm gonna say, if you had a choice to get one or the other, definitely go for the Studio Series, because it does capture more of the movie look. But if you want a figure that's different, surprising, and I don't know if he's cheap because Sentinel Prime kind of went away, then pick up this one and just get both. I'm telling you, it's a lot of playability in both, and I enjoyed reviewing these, actually, as a matter of fact. But I'm going to tell you, the star of the show for me is really this one, but this one is not as good to me. But once you get this in the hand, you'll understand why. It's good, very good figure. And I want to see the rest of the studio. I know we got the Bumblebee, but I'm waiting for the Elita one. So I didn't get the Bumblebee. I don't really want the Bumblebee. And I know they're doing a few others, but the Sentinel Prime was definitely one I wanted to get because, of what he is in the movie. So kudos to Hasbro for really putting an effort into this. It's a good effort. And I think if they revisit it to capture the exactness of the movie, I think they can do a better job. So far, so good. I do like what they did with both. So, of course, what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. I'm done for the night, y'all. Super Robot Head, bringing more news reveals to them. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.